There was something that really made me cringe when watching Invincible Season 3. I feel like I had to throw up. There was a scene where Mark had the nerve to ask someone else, another imperfect being, to determine whether he was a good person.
Eve, am I a good person?
Of course you are.
Am I a good person? 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 Can you tell me I'm a good person? I wanna be a good person. I try to be a good person. So if I'm a good person, tell me I'm a good person. Please tell me I'm a good person. Good person, person.
I do not believe that anyone has the sole authority to determine what is right or wrong, because I believe that right and wrong is only a matter of intention. For instance, if I tell you that it is raining outside and I don't want to get wet, but I also choose to leave the house with no umbrella, then that is the wrong choice. My actions did not meet my intentions. If my intention was to go outside and get soaked, then yes, I made a good choice. So right and wrong can only be determined by our intentions. Sometimes we don't know whether a choice was right or wrong until after the fact. Let's say we want to stay dry, but we also don't want to carry an umbrella. However, we can't quite tell if it will rain or not. Therefore, we won't know whether a choice is right or wrong until later. Humans can only do what we are programmed to do from nature or nurture, and we only act based on our perception. There is either right or wrong, good and evil, or negative and positive. Good is simply to do what is considered godly or what you were created to do, and evil is the word live backwards. So to do something godly means to do what nature intended you to do, but to do something evil is just to live backwards, meaning you're choosing to do things that are unnatural. Living backwards means that you purposely chose not to do what was pre-programmed. Human beings are given that choice. We do not have to do what we were pre-programmed to do. It's just that having pre-programming helps us figure out what direction to go. It's like if you spawn in a video game, you don't have to follow the instructions, but following the instructions may be the most optimal thing to do. Everything in life has consequences. You can do whatever you want as long as you know it comes at a price. Humans were not made to eat their own poop, so eating it is evil, but you are free to see what happens when you do. Take a look at this picture and keep it in mind. If you see a lion harm a child, you would be foolish to perceive that lion as evil. That lion is programmed to survive off prey. A human child is just another meal. Now back to this picture. When you see this guy eating baby back ribs, does that make him evil? Or is he just a guy eating something to survive? It just goes to show that good and evil is just a matter of perception. When it comes to positive and negative, those are words we use to describe emotions. When we say something was positive or negative, we are simply saying that it felt good or it felt bad. But positive and negative have nothing to do with right and wrong or good and evil. You can feel positive about hurting someone or negative about helping someone. How many times have you loaned someone money you didn't have and felt negative about it, or promised to do something for someone at your own expense? What if I decide to feed a man for free and therefore prevent him from ever learning to feed himself on his own? Did I really create a positive experience for this man long term? What if my free food ends up making him lazy and unhealthy over time, and therefore causes him far more suffering? Everything that is negative causes positivity, and everything that is too positive causes negativity. So one time when I was a kid, I went to go stay with a family member for the entire summer. And while I stayed with that family member for the whole summer, I got to eat whatever I wanted. I mean, literally, every meal was a buffet. And at a buffet, they have anything you want to eat. So literally, I got to eat whatever I wanted. And I ate like this for 3 months straight. And when I got home after the summer, I was so happy to see my mom, but for whatever reason, she had this look of anger and disgust on her face, and I just couldn't figure out why. So apparently I had gained about 50 pounds as a 10-year-old. My mom took me into the living room, took off my shirt, and then called in my family members to come see me. And she said, look what happened to him. She asked me, why did I eat so much while I was away for the summer? And then she pinched my fat and had all of my siblings look at how fat I got. It was really embarrassing and humiliating. However, let me tell you this, I have never gotten that big again in my life. From that moment on, I was absolutely determined to lose weight and to stay in shape. And had she not done that, I can absolutely promise that my life overall would have been a lot more negative. So it just goes to show how negative experiences create positive experiences. So really they're one and the same. Negativity is positivity and positivity is negativity. But the moral of the story is that right and wrong, good and evil, and positive and negative are all interchangeable and subjective. But I have a question. Are you a good person?